What's going on, guys? Day 13. It's your boy Parag coming at you guys with another hard day challenge. We're keeping it up until August 21st or 22nd. No, August 21st. Your boy is going to Japan, so I'm having this kind of routine until then. But it's not only just for now. It's more of like a sticking to the routine because all my life I've never been really discipline with the stuff I do. So today, this hard challenge is more of like a promise, not only to you guys, but a promise to myself as well. Anyways, we had some breakfast today. Boom, nothing too crazy. Literally the exact same thing as yesterday. 2 scoops of oatmeal, milk, 1 scoop of protein powder, chia seeds. Unfortunately, no peanut butter because we ran out. So just those 4, and then also took some creatine, 1 scoop, water. That's it. And I stirred it more this time. I stirred it, and at the bottom of the drink there was still like some like a pool of, maybe I gotta buy those like electronic like spinners. That might be the key. Anyways, let's get into reading. If you don't want to skip to the workouts, today is, y'all can see over there, it is back day. Today was a different routine. Usually yesterday I worked out, took a photo, and then I recorded the video, and then I went for the walk. But today I did the workout, walk, eat breakfast, and then I recorded the video. I showered too. Not gonna lie though, I didn't get a lot of sleep today. Yesterday, if y'all weren't tuned in for today, your boy is streaming Prog the Frog on Twitch. We're playing Clash. We unfortunately lost every game, but we lost every game. And we played ARAM after that, and we still lost. So there's that. We went 0 for 4, but we were up until like 1 in the morning, and I set my alarm for like 6:30 because I start work at 11, and my ideal is to like get the video edited and recorded before I start work. So then for the rest of the day, the only thing I have to like focus about is just lunch and dinner, and that's it. Anyways, skip to this time if you want to go straight to the back workout. But let's get on to reading. And we always do the one question from the 404 laws of peace. Yesterday it was what kind of friend do you want to be? But let's see here. All right, what upcoming changes are you most afraid of? I think just growing up, honestly, because as I get older, I gotta be more responsible. I gotta be, I think there's a lot of pressure on me to get a job, like a better job. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna change. Honestly, I'm not too afraid of changes as of right now, because right now, I mean, your boy took a tumble, but we're doing good now. Like, what I'm saying, like, we're healing, we're doing our thing, we're making content, we're streaming, doing blah blah blah. But yeah, I think upcoming changes probably be like after I come back from Japan, it's like now I gotta get my life, like I gotta grind even more, and like not even for content but just for like career wise too, what I'm saying, because my parents want me to have a job, blah blah blah. I want to pursue content, but I gotta work hard for that too. So there's that. I think the second upcoming changes is probably just like my parents being older. Honestly, I'm not really a fan, but that's how life is. But as I get older, like I get more emotional. I'm not gonna lie. anyways, comment down below, y'all guys, upcoming changes that you're most afraid of. Now let's get on to the 10 pages of the Zen Mind, shall we? I'm not gonna lie, this book is like, I get it for some parts, but other times, I don't get it at all. Alright. Negative and positive. The more you understand your thinking, the more you find it difficult to talk about it. The purpose of talking is to give yourself an idea of way, but actually it is not something you talk about, but something to practice. The best way is just to practice without saying anything. When we talk about our way, there is apt to be misunderstanding, because the true way always has at least two sides, the negative and positive. When we talk about the negative side, the positive side is missing. When we talk about the positive side, the negative side is missing. We cannot speak in a positive and negative way at the same time. So we do not know what to say. It is almost impossible to talk about Buddhism. So not to say anything. Just to practice it is the best way. Showing one finger or drawing a round circle may be the way, or simply to bow. If we understand this point, we will understand how to talk about Buddhism. And we will have a perfect communication. To talk about something will be one of our practices, and listen to the talk will also be practice. When we practice Zazen, we practice Zazen without any gaining idea. When we talk about something, we just talk about something, with just the positive or the negative side, without trying to express some intellectual one-sided idea, and we listen without trying to figure out some intellectual understanding, without trying to understand from a one-sided view. This is how we talk about our teachings and how we listen to a talk. The Soto way always has the double meaning, positive and negative. And our way is both, okay, these words are, okay, I'm gonna butcher these words really badly, but just bear with me. And our way is both Hinayanistic and Mahayanistic. I always say our practice is very Hinayistic, bro. Actually, we have a Hinayana practice with a Mahayana spirit. Rigid, formal practice with informal mind. Our minds are not formal. Although we have practiced Zazen every morning in the same way, there is no reason to call this formal practice. It is your discrimination which makes it formal or informal. Inside the practice itself, there is no formal or informal. If you have a Mahayana mind, something which people call formal may be informal. So we say that observing the precepts in Hinayana way is violating the precepts in these words are making me the Mahayana way. If you observe your precepts in a formal way, you lose your Mahayana spirit. Before you understand this point, you always have a problem. Whether you should observe our way literally, or whether you should not be concerned with yourself about the formality which we have. But if you understand our way completely, there is no such thing, because whatever you do is practice, as long as you have it. Mahayana mind, there is no Mahayana mind or Hinayana practice. Even though it seems as if you are violating the precepts, the precepts, you are actually observing them in their true nature. The point is whether you have a big or small mind. In short, when you do everything without thinking about whether it is good or bad, and when you do something with your whole mind and body, then that is our way. Dojin Zenji said, when you say something to someone, he may not accept it, but do not try to make him understand it intellectually. Do not argue with him, just listen to his objections while he himself finds something wrong with them. This is very interesting. Try not to force your idea onto someone, but rather think about it with them. If you feel like you have won the discussion, that also is the wrong attitude. Try not to win an argument, just listen to it. But it is also wrong to behave as if you had lost. Usually when we say something, we are apt to try to sell our teaching or force an idea. But between Zazen students, there is no special purpose in speaking or listening. Sometimes we listen, sometimes we talk, and that is all. It's like a greeting. Good morning. Through this kind of communication, we can develop our way. I don't want to touch base about that. Yeah, I feel like when it comes to talking to people or arguing with them, my head looks kind of crazy. When it comes to talking to people, especially when it comes to arguing, I feel like now, like back then, when I used to talk to people, like friends, families, etc., outside people, I would always try to not always try to push my ideal, but if we ever had an argument, I went into this mental mode of okay, it's either I prove my point and I lose, or when I win, or I lose, and I had this very win-lose mindset. But me personally, I'm not really I don't strive towards confrontation or arguments or stuff like that, because I'm more of a chill, laid back. If anything, I avoid it. If anything, but yeah, these past time I've been learning to just accept it, and if anything, it's my way to understand why they think like that, whether it be right or wrong. Not to say anything may be very good, but there is no reason why we should always be silent. Whatever you do, even including not doing, that is our practice. That is an expression of big mind. So big mind is something to express, but it is not something to figure out. Big mind is something you have, not something to seek for. Big mind is something to talk about or to express by our activity, or something to enjoy. If we do this in our way of observation precepts, there is no Hinayana way or Mahayana way. Only because you seek to gain something through rigid formal practice does it become a problem for you. But if we appreciate whatever problem we have as an expression of big mind, it is not a problem anymore. Sometimes our problems is that big mind is very complicated. Sometimes big mind is too simple to figure it out. That is also big mind. But because you try to figure it out what it is, because you want to simplify the complicated big mind, it becomes a problem for you. Whether you have a problem in your life or not depends upon your own attitude, your own understanding. Because of the double or paradoxical nature of truth, there should be no problem of understanding if you have a big Mahayana mind. This kind of mind will be obtained by true Zazen. Next chapter. Nirvana. I'm just making sure I look fine as hell. Let me get close to you guys. Alright, sorry. Nirvana, the waterfall. If you go to Japan... I'm going to Japan! If you go to Japan and visit Enji Monastery, there, just before you enter, you will see a small bridge called Hansaku Kuyo, which means half dipper bridge. Whenever Dojin... Oh my god. The page... No way, bro. Open this... I can't split it. Okay. Whenever Dojin Zenzi dipped water from the river, he used only half a dipful, returning the rest into the river again without throwing it away. This is why we call it the bridge Hanshaku Kyo, half dipper ridge. At Enji, we watch our face. We fill the basin to just 70% of its capacity, and after we wash, we empty the water towards rather than from our body. And after we wash, we empty the water towards rather than away from our body. This expression respects for the water. This kind of practice is not based on any idea of being economical. It may be difficult to understand why Dojin returned half of the water he dipped into the river. Doesn't that get kind of like unsanitary though? I'm just saying. This kind of practice is beyond our thinking. When we feel the beauty of the river, when we are one with the water, we intuitively do it in Dojin's way. It is our true nature to do so. But if your true nature is covered by ideas of economy or efficiency, Dojin way makes no sense. I went to Yosemite National Park and I saw some huge waterfalls. The highest of these is 1,430 feet high, and from it the water comes down like a current thrown from the top of the mountain. It does not seem to come down swiftly as you might expect. It seems to come down very slowly because you might expect it... slowly because of the distance. And the water does not come down as one stream, but is separated into many tiny streams. From a distance, it looks like a curtain, and I thought it must be a very difficult experience for each drop of water to come down from the top of such a high mountain. It takes time, a long time for the water to finally reach the bottom of the waterfall. And it seems to me that our human life may be like this. We have many difficult experiences in our life, but at the same time, I thought the water was not originally separated, but was one whole river. Only when it is separated does it have some difficulty in falling. It is as if the water does not have any feeling when it is one whole river. Only when separated into many drops can it begin to have or express some feeling. When we see one whole river, we do not feel the living activity of water, but when we dip a part of the water into a dipper, we experience some feeling of the water, and we also feel the value of the person who uses the water. Feeling ourselves and the water in this way, we cannot use it in just a material way. It is a living thing. Before we were born, we had no feeling. We were one with the universe. This is called mind only, or essence of mind, or big mind. After we are separated by birth from this oneness, as the river falling from the waterfall is separated by the winds and rocks, then we have a feeling. You have difficulty because you have feeling. You attached to the feeling you have without knowing just how this kind of feeling is created. When you do not realize that you are one with the river or one with the universe, you have fear. Whether it is separated into drops or not, water is water. Our life and death are the same thing. When we realize this fact, we have no fear of death anymore, and we have no actual difficulty in our life. When the water returns to its original oneness with the river, it is no longer has any individual feeling to it. It resumes its own nature and finds composure. How very glad the water must be to come back to the original river. If this is so, what feeling will we have when we die? I think we are like water in the dipper. We have composure, then perfect composure. It may be too perfect for us just now, because we are so much attached to our own feeling, to our individual existence. For now, just us, we have some fear of death. But after we resume our true original form or nature, there is nirvana. That is why we say to attain nirvana is to pass away. To pass away is not a very adequate expression. Well, a big word is adequate. Adequate. Perhaps to pass on or to go on or to join would be better. Will you try to find something better? Will you try to find a better expression of death? When you find it, you will have quite a new interpretation of life. It will be like experiments. It will be like my experience when I saw the waterfall. Imagine it was 1,430 feet high. We say everything comes out of emptiness. One whole river or one whole mind is emptiness. When we reach this understanding, we will find the true meaning of our life. When we reach this understanding, we can see the beauty of human life. But before we realize this fact, everything that we see is just a delusion. Sometimes we overstimulate the beauty. Sometimes we underestimate or ignore the beauty because our small mind is not accord with reality. To talk about it this way is quite easy, but to have the actual feeling is not so easy. But by our practice of Zazen, you can cultivate this feeling. When you sit with your whole body and mind and with the oneness of your mind and body under the control of the universal mind, you can easily attain this kind of understanding. Your everyday life will be renewed without being attached to an old, ignorant interpretation of life. When you realize this fact, you will discover how meaningless your old interpretation was and how much useless effort you have been making. You will find the true meaning of life, and even though you have difficulty falling upright from the top of the waterfall to the bottom of the mountain, you will enjoy your life. Okay, so with that one, like, I get where he's coming from. How, like, if we're going back to the waterfall analogy, like the river as it's one complete river, it just flows, has no feelings. It's like just composure. But when you divide it and it's like a single droplet, then the droplet is like, it has feelings. Because in a way, right, think about it. Let's pretend that you're water, right? Would you rather be just calm, soothly, just flowing through some ground, like a river? Or would you rather be falling from 1,430 feet high? And the thing is, it's not even all you, it's one by one, or like it's like you become separated falling down. And that's kind of like, I guess what they're trying to provide, or make us understand is like, maybe all of life, all of us, comes from like oneness. And like right now we're like the water. So right now, like, since we're all individual, what I'm saying, that's when like we have feelings, we have like emotions, we like, life and death. But when death comes, maybe we just go back to being the oneness. And then from there, I don't know what happens. But I guess, I don't know if I agree with this, but I get what they're trying to say. The most important, next chapter, sorry. Traditional Zen spirit. The most important things in our practice, we are our physical posture and our way of breathing. We are not so concerned about a deep reading of Buddhism as a philosophy. Buddhism is very deep, wide, and firm system of thought, but Zen is not concerned about Zen is not concerned about philosophical understanding. We emphasize practice. We should understand why our practice, posture, and breathing exercises are so important instead of having a deep understanding of the teachings. We need a strong confidence in our teaching, which says that originally we have Buddha nature. Our practice is based on this faith. Before Bodhidharma went to China, almost all the well-known stock words of Zen were used. For instance, there was a term, sudden enlightenment. Sudden enlightenment is not an adequate translation, but tentatively I will use this expression. Enlightenment comes all of us to a sudden. This is true enlightenment. Before Bodhidharma, people thought that after a long preparation, sudden enlightenment would come. Thus, Zen practice was a kind of training to gain enlightenment. Actually, many people today are practicing Zazen with this idea, but this is not the traditional way of understanding of Zen. The understanding passed down from Buddha to our time is when you start Zazen. There is enlightenment even without any preparations. Whether you practice Zazen or not, you have Buddha nature because you have it. There is enlightenment in your practice. The points we emphasize are not the stage we attain, but the strong confidence we have in our original nature and the sincerity of our practice. We should practice Zen with the same sincerity as Buddha. If originally we have Buddha nature, the reason we practice Zazen is that we must behave like Buddha. To transmit our way is to transmit our spirit from Buddha. So we have to harmonize our spirit, our physical posture, and our activity with the traditional way. You may attain some particular stage or course, but the spirit of your practice should not be based on an egotistical idea. According to the traditional Buddhist understanding, our human nature is without ego. When we have no idea of ego, we have Buddha's view of life. Our egotistic ideas are delusions, covering our Buddha nature. We are always creating and following them, and in repeating this process over and over again, our life becomes completely occupied by ego-centered ideas. This is called karmic life, or karma. The Buddhist life should not be a karmic life. The purpose of our practice is to cut off the karmic spinning around. If you are trying to attain enlightenment, that is a part of karma. You are creating and being driven by karma. You are wasting your time on your black cushion. According to Bodhidharma understanding, practice based on any given idea is just a repetition of your karma. Forgetting this point, many Zen masters have emphasized some stage to be attained by practice. More important than any stage which you will attain is your sincerity, your right effort. Right effort must be based on true understanding of our traditional practice. When you understand this point, you will understand how important it is to keep your posture right. When you do not understand this point, the posture and the way of breathing are just means to attain enlightenment. If this is your attitude, it would be much better to take some drugs instead of sitting in a cross-legged position. I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one. If our practice is only a means to attain enlightenment, there is actually no way to attain it. We lose the meaning of the way to the goal. But when we believe in our way firmly, we have already attained enlightenment. When you believe in your way, enlightenment is there. But when you cannot believe in the meaning of a practice, which you've been doing in this moment, you cannot do anything. You are just wandering around the goal with your monkey mind. You are always looking for something without knowing who you are or what you are doing. If you want to see something, you should open your eyes. When you do not understand Bodhidharma Zen, you are trying to look at something with your eyes closed. We do not slight the idea of attainment. We do not slight the idea of attaining enlightenment, but the most important things in this moment, not someday in the future. We have to make our effort in this moment. This is the most important thing for our practice. Before Bodhidharma, the study of Buddha's teaching resulted in a deep and lofty physiological and Buddhism, and people try to attain it in its high ideals. This is a mistake. Bodhidharma discovered that it must be a mistake to create some lofty or deep idea and then try to attain it by the practice of zazen. If that is our zazen, it is nothing different from our usual activity or monkey mind. It looks like a very lofty and holy activity. But actually, there is no difference between it and our monkey mind. That is the point that Bodhi was emphasized. Okay, so that was the last page for today, but yeah, I guess trying to have the mindset of like attaining enlightenment, I guess, I don't know. Like I've been trying to like meditate here and there, but I kind of get distracted. But I guess yeah, like when I like from what the book is saying, um, if you're meditating or if you're practicing zazen for like a certain goal, then you already failed in some kind of way. But hey, that was the reading for today. Thank you guys for watching the whole reading section. Let's move on to the workout. It is back day today. Tomorrow is legs, so stay tuned for that. That's yo. Tomorrow is day 14. 2 weeks being consistent. Onto the workout. Peace. Okay, starting off back there doing some pull-ups. Your boy got 5. I was about to push for 6, but I weaked out. I ain't gonna lie. All right, now we're doing some seated rows, or I don't know what you call this, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Today I was really not feeling this workout. Like I was pushing, don't get me wrong, but like I don't know. I was not feeling it today. I was like tired. I was whatever. But anyways, I'm glad I pushed through it though. Ooh, I'm glad I'm doing. Yeah, okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, doing some shrugs. I'm actually glad that I'm able to do more pull-ups because back then we started off with like 3. Now it's 5 back to back. And however, on the second set, I always do like 2 because my back is like cooked. But it's good seeing progress. Anyways, doing shrugs. Dude, I got a big ass pimple on my left. What the hell? And we're ending off with this. This is like for it, like. You feel a burn on your like lower back, so it's not too bad. But yeah, that was the workout for today. For all my new viewers, I only record like the first set, not both, because I do 2 sets, but I only record the first one because I don't want to make the video like 1,000 years long, you know what I'm saying? But that was the workout for today. Thank you guys for watching. Here's a picture of today. Not too shabby, looking pretty nice. I actually can't wait to like before I go to Japan, like the final episode. I can't wait to like do like a side by side like comparison. Like I can't wait. But hey, let's move on to the lunch. Okay, for the actual activity, you already know, went for a walk, and this time I actually got 45 minutes, a little bit more, because like I take pictures here and there while I'm walking, so like I make sure to walk for the time that I was standing still. So 45 minutes and a few seconds, boom, and you know, we all say the saying, guys. Some light to me. Okay, your boy, I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling very hungry during my work break. My first work break, so I had like, some yogurt, not too bad, the strawberry. And then for lunch, I had some rice, some beef chili. Shout out to my mom for making that again. And we got some leaves. Honestly, I'm trying to proportion it where like it's mostly leaves and some beef, but you know, gotta have some carbs here and there. But yeah, let's move on to the dinner. Okay, and for dinner, we got some noodles. Bro, my mom came home. She whipped up some fried noodles, pork, spinach, bell peppers, all that stuff. There was a chili in that bit, but I swerved it away. I ain't trying to eat that chili. I know you guys are probably saying, oh my God, like I ate dinner at like 7-ish. And you guys, I don't know about y'all, but for me, like I eat dinner. Usually I eat dinner pretty late. But however, I am playing Clash today. And I won't have time to like eat, upload this video while playing, and then sleep too. So I'm just gonna upload it before I play. Hashtag streaming on Twitch, Prod the Frog. Yeah, because you know, man's trying to lose weight but keep the muscle. Anyways, that's the dinner for today. Thank you guys for watching the video. It's been your boy Parag. Hey, day 13 is complete. Day 14 is tomorrow, marking the 2 weeks. I'm actually feeling good. And I'm just glad that there's people watching, and I thank you guys a lot. Make sure to, you know, follow, subscribe, like all that good stuff on my socials, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.